Howdy folks, TJ here. How about a little bit of a projector video? I now own not one, not two, not three, but 4 projectors, all of old ages, all of no-name brand. Well, maybe one was kind of more of a name brand. This one may be a name brand now, but I've never heard of it. Have you ever went to Amazon and typed in LED projector or laser projector or just projector? My God, how many different options come up? It is a crazy cornucopia of so many options. And the options today that are the dirt cheap ones compared to 3 or 4 years ago are quite powerful. I remember when, video projector, I think my first one was 100 lumens and only did 480p. Then I upgraded to a one name brand finally, Nebula, which is pretty popular among projectors. But it was one they were fading out, discontinuing, and it was, I think, $100, $150. No, maybe it was $175, $150, $175, something like that. And it was 200 lumens, had built-in speakers, but it didn't have a battery. My first one had a battery. You could actually charge it up and, take it like a really small travel one. Really cool. But the Nebula one was huge and didn't have a battery, so you had to plug it into power. And yes, it was better. It was actually, I think, native 1080p, but it was 200 lumens. So again, a nighttime viewing, dark type of video projector. Then a number of years go by, and then I got I don't know the proper pronunciation, but XJimmy or Jimmy, XJIMI or XGI, one of those two. Mogo, not the Pro model, but just the Mogo, and it was back to a smaller Paquito package, internal speakers, a battery inside, 400 lumens. You see where I was going? So that one was kind of a name brand, a weird name brand, but a name brand. And that one is now, I think, 3 years old. The battery is not doing too well on it. I don't think it would last 45 minutes before the battery has to be charged, so it's pretty much now relinquished to needing to plug it into electricity. And that one was it 720p that did some tweakiness to make it 1080p look alike, but wasn't really 1080p, something like that. I'd have to look. So I said, okay. I was watching projectors on the Amazons, and there's tons of 1080p native where you can connect it to a 4K TV. And it won't show 4K, but it will show you a video in 1080p on a 4K TV. So that's good. At least you can plug it into a 4K TV if you've got one. And it was native 1080p, 800 lumens. So I went 100 to 200 to 400, now to 800. I'm doubling up every time. Now, if you're a video specialist, even 800 is kind of low. But it's not. It is definitely high, but not for daytime viewing. I think if you want daytime viewing, you pretty much got to get a laser one that's got a gazillion gigawatts of lumens, and they're expensive. I don't do 4K. And I looked at some 4K, but yeah, it was out of my price realm. So I fell back into, okay, let's look at some options. And I came up with this Vizony. Have you ever heard of Vizony? I never heard of Vizony. Now I know about Vizony. I actually read a lot of the reviews, and there was a number of models. This design that you're looking at that's got a big lens on one side and a little IR thingy-majigger on this side that you see here. There's a whole bunch of brands, different names that look identical or similar in the same ballpark, same size. And it is probably, I'm going to say most of them are probably made in China, and they all work off of the same pool of, okay, we'll take that, but we'll tweak this a little bit, tweak that a little bit, make the color a little bit different, call it our own, and sell it. So there's all these pricing. And for this type that's 1080p native, 800 lumens, which was actually pretty good, they were anywhere from, say, mid-200s on a special to the $400 range. This particular one was $379 minus a discount, minus a $110 coupon. So I looked at that, and I read all the reviews, and it was really good. It was 4 point something, I think, stars out of 5. and everybody's saying they really like it. Good quality, video's nice and bright, which is something that I wanted to do, so I can maybe play some video games during the day with ambient light, but it would be great at night for movies. And I looked at that and I go, okay, calculate, discount, take everything off, $150 plus tax. It came to $167, I think, and I go, okay, it's not going to break the bank. It is 1080p native. It can be connected to 4K source. The portage on the back of this, which I'll show you in a bit, really was more to my liking compared to the other $100, $200, $300, $400 allotments, because it has an AV port as well, or one of those AV single plugs like a speaker one, and then it goes out the 3-prong RCA type of jack, which is cool, and not many had this. Most of them were just HDMI only. This one has its AV jack, so I can maybe connect one of my old laser discs to it and see if that plays. I have no idea of the quality, because the laser disc is sub-DVD quality in terms of video, but maybe it has some type of combing filter inside that upgrades it to 720 or 1080 and makes it look better. I don't know. Those are all things to see. But needless to say, this model, it's the Vizony 8G. They had another model that looked just like it, didn't have the same type of discounts, but it was similar price. It had some discounts, but anyway, I'm going to do a unboxing, but not, because if you look behind me, I cut to the chase. You were slow. You didn't get here in time, so I already took it out. Then I tried it over the weekend, and in quick tests, it does look pretty good. Perfect? No. In terms of like Netflix, it says it comes with Netflix, but the Netflix, ooh, that's like a porno. Netflix, it is like a mobile version, and you don't have voice activation Siri to type in your passwords. So it took me about 8 hours of going, oh, do I remember my password? Oh shit, I screwed it up. I didn't. So I got to type in all these letters, and I had a big old email and big old password. It took me like half an hour to set the thing up. So the user experience and passwords and the Netflix scrolling through once you got the password in was not the greatest. So I would recommend that you connect a little Fire Stick or Chromecast device or Apple TV, something else to it that's got a more user elegant experience. But it did work, and so technically that's cool. So anyway, Vizony 8G is the model, I believe, at least what Amazon said. No, 8Q, not G, 8Q. 8G is after 5G, 6G, and 7G. That's in the future for our wireless technology. FHD 1080p Android TV projector. And on the front, you saw the pretty picture. It looks nice. Autofocus keystone. So not only do you place it in things and it autofocuses for you, it also does keystone. Now, my experience with keystone automatic, and under my quick test, it didn't work. Didn't work under my older models either. It could just be my room, the ambient light, the screen. So the nice thing is it's got 4-corner manual adjustment, and it's pretty easy to do. You put this big square on the screen and you square things up and you say you're good. So it's all nice and doable from your little remote. HD visual experience. So it looks cool. Side of the box does say Vizony. And on this side of the box, it's got specs, which I'll read to you in a second. Bottom of the box is nothing. And top of the box says Vizony with a handle. So let's read off the specifications. Projection technology, 4.5 LCD TFT display. If you're not familiar with these projectors, they're basically putting a small LCD inside. That LCD then talks to your lens and makes it all look bigger, and so you can make it big or small, up to like 120 inches or whatever the heck it is. So, but the actual LCD inside, it's a small little guy, 4.5 inches. On a good day, 4.5 inches is not too bad, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, native resolution, 1920 by 1080, so it's a 1080p native. Our main TV in our house is still 1080p. The only 4K TV we have is one that you can't see. It's over there. I have it connected up to an Amiga 1 X5000 computer. But technically we do own one, but we don't watch TV from it. I use it for a computer monitor. Image flip 360 degree. Projection mode, front desktop, rear desktop, front ceiling, rear ceiling. So you can connect it in many different ways. Lens 8 optical coating glass lens. Projection ratio 1.50:1. Whatever that, 1:50 ratio. I don't know how you call that stuff. Projection distance is anywhere from 1.3 to 4.8 meters. So I'm still in feet. I don't do meters. I do inches, feet. I'm in the United States. That's what I do. But 4.8 meters is roughly 16 feet, something like that. Anyway, you could go quite a bit of ways. And what's cool about this model, it does have a zoom function that you can zoom that big image if you move it 16 feet back and hone it down and zoom it in 50%. So you can maybe put the projector a place that's a little farther away than normal, but you can then zoom in and be able to focus on your smaller, in my case, I've got a 90-inch pull-up screen. So that's a cool feature. A lamp type is LED, so this is not laser beam, it's a LED, and it's got a 100,000 hours life, which is a long time. I'll be well retired by the time, hopefully this thing is still working by then. Image size 40 to 200 inches. So that is a big amount of coverage. I can't imagine zooming this out to 200. What the heck do I have on my hand? I don't know what's on my hand. It's probably a styrofoam packing peanut stuff. You ever get into packing peanuts and you walk around and then 5 hours later you go, I had one on my neck or one on here. They hold all over the place. So 40 to 200 inch. My screen is 90. So that's what I'm going to be projecting to. Digital zoom, and I talked about that a second ago, 50 to 100%, which is cool. So basically, it gives you shrink down capability because 100% is normal, right? And then you can shrink it down to as small as 50% of that. Working voltages, this has all your normal AC 100 to 240 volt, 50 to 60 hertz. So pretty much most any common modern TV is fine. Power consumption, light source 80 watts. Whole projector is 95 watts. So that's pretty manageable, meaning that you could probably, if you're out on outdoor night and doing projection out on a screen outside with the family, you could get a little backup solar power generator thing. And this doesn't gobble up the watts, so you could probably run it for at least a full movie if you've got a decent size one. Net weight, 2.3 kilograms. Kg, is that kilogram? Yeah, whatever. I don't follow kilograms. Inches, feet, pounds, ounces. I'll do ounces. And the projector size, and this is all in millimeters, so I'm not going to give it to you. Inches, damn it, inches. So yeah, that's the box. Let's open the box, and we'll show you the thing in a second. This is a pseudo unboxing, but when you open the box, it is a nice box. And inside the display, well, the projector came in a nice baggie. There was a bunnage that was protecting everything. And then there is another bun inside. And you need to see there's a finger. Oh, that hurt. A hole in the middle to then show you a cavity down below that has other stuff. It had the remote, a HDMI cable, and then the AV dongle. So that's cool. So like I said, we'll show in a second. This one plug plugs into the projector, and this has your normal RCA type of jacks. So I'm interested to know, because I've got over 1,000 laser discs, if I can play it on there and it be presentable and usable. I have a friend that is really big in the laser discs. In fact, he's the one that got me into this whole laser disc thing. And he kind of mentioned that, yeah, on a project or a laser disc like that, really about 60 inches is max. If you start going beyond that, it looks like crud. So I'll trust him. I don't know if that's going to be the same on mine. Every filter is different. Every projector is different. But anyway, everything came in safely boxed, and I was happy with it. It came with a manual, which is nice. Not a little manual either. This is a full-size manual, and it's got a table of contents. It's got lots of pictures of things and explanations. Everything's in clear plain, good, understandable language, how to use the remote. The remote, did I bring? No, the remote I left out in the other room, apparently. So you won't get to see the remote unless I run out there in a few seconds and grab it. But it's not a gourmet remote. It's an okay remote, but it doesn't have a Netflix button. It doesn't have a Prime button. So you still got to launch the application. But, it's even got some color in the manual. So it does come with a decent manual, and the amount of pages is 24, 25. With the back cover, 26 pages. So, cool. It did come with a power cord. Removable power cord, not some power cord like my Aquarius computer that has a big-ass heavy power brick supply, and it's hardwired, and you got to lug that whole thing around. It's crazy. What is nice, it does come with a dust cap, and you can pull said dust cap off. I'm not going to pull. I'll pull it off. Yeah, I guess I'll pull it off. Dust cap. Nice lens. So you can keep the dust off of that. Now let me put this back because I don't want to get fingerprints all over it. So here's what the front of it looks like. It's got a blue color to it. So it's not, I guess, kind of like a bluish gray, if you want to call it that. And you can see the substantial size of this. And every projector, the Nebula was pretty Herkin, but it was short. My other ones were kind of Picanto, but here's what the front looks like. Side, it looks like probably air ventilation and speakers. This has got, it didn't say anything about the speakers on the box, but I think it's 15 watt speakers, I think, on this. I'll have to double check, but everybody said, hey, the audio sounds pretty good on this. So that's that side, and this other side has same type. It's probably a mix of ventilation and speaker port. I'll show you the bottom and top first, and then we'll show you the ports. Here's the bottom. And what's cool, it's got a tripod. Where's the tripod hole? Maybe it doesn't have a tripod hole. I don't see a tripod hole. I thought this had a tripod hole. No, so apparently if you're going to mount this on a ceiling or something, you're going to have one of those that has a flat plate type of thing that you put the projector on, because I do not see a projector hole. But this does have a little nicer compared to others. A lot of projectors had these little screws that you screwed in to make the tilt of what you wanted. This one's more substantial. It's got two settings. It's got this little flip out one that should move independently, but apparently they're both moving. There's that one, the big one, and then I think this little one supposed to do separately too. But I don't want to break anything. It doesn't seem to be budging at the moment. So anyway, that's that. And I do not see a screw thing for a tripod. So no, there is no tripod mount on here. It does have some rubber feet, so that's cool. Top. Another reason I like this. Some projectors were remote only. If you're harping on the remote, every dude sits in the corner going, dun, 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 dun. Channel surf, dun, dun. That remote's going to die before probably this thing does. And if you don't have a way to manually operate it, you're screwed. This one has all the settings on the top, or buttons on the top. So you can, I think, do most of the features off of that. And it does look cool. You kind of look at these ribbed. It's got, I don't know if this is for air or more speaker vents or a mixture of both, but it's got a nice design, kind of a, what do you call it? A little vent around the top. And it's got the power button. And I believe you could do most of the functionality, if not all, from this. So that was a big selling point for me. And then the back. I'll show it to you, and then we'll talk about the portage. So here's the back. It has tons of portage. And let me see if we can kind of do this together. 2 USB ports, 2 HDMI ports, an Ethernet port. So if you've got a high-speed network, and you're going to run some type of, there's thousands of apps you can download for this. It's an Android device. I don't do the Plex and I don't do the media server stuff, but if you do, you may be able to connect this to your network by a higher speed than what, say you're in a remote corner of the room and your Wi-Fi sucks there. You can wire this if you've got it wired in the house. So it's got Ethernet. Then there's an AV port, which is where you'll use that dongle cable I showed you a bit ago. A headphone port. So if you want to be quiet because you're watching a porno that you don't want your wife to know about. Not that I do that. I've been married 37 years or whatever. But anyway, a headphone so you can be in quiet and you can hear all the stuff and no one else. Okay, and then there is a infrared there, which you go, why do they have it on the back? Because the odds are this is sitting in front of you and I'm in the back. Having one in the back and in the front means that wherever you place this, you probably will be able to use the remote and point and click and it do things. So this looks great. And like I already showed you the front, it's got a big old lens. This has got some heft to it. The speakers, I'm surprised the manual didn't say anything. I'm pretty sure it was 15 watts. Let me quickly look here and see if there's a specification thing in here that says anything different. No. So I'll have to Google it. Go to Amazon and look. But I'm pretty sure it's got a decent set of speakers, and I'm surprised they're not talking about it. So anyway, let me go grab the remote, which means this room will go silent for a second. I'm not going to video edit this out. But give me a second. Let me go grab the remote. I don't think I brought it in here. But you... Oh, shit! There goes the light! Son of a bees weasel. Okay, hold tight. Be entertained by my chair. Where did I put the damn remote? What the hell? There it is. I found it. As I hack up a lung. I'm back. Did you hear me in the other room? Did I start this recording? Yeah, I'm 20 some odd minutes in. So we'll show you the remote. And then I'm not going to go, but I'm pretty sure it's got speaker because I heard it. Here's what the remote looks like. It's a fine remote. My experience, though, is either my rechargeable batteries are terrible and they're the type that only are 1.2 volts and you really need a 1.5 better battery. This thing ran through 4 batteries in a matter of me trying to test everything out. I don't know if my rechargeable batteries of that lower voltage and they're crappy. I did then go just put some cheap-ass dollar store batteries in here that I think were real 1.5 volt. At least I think they were. and then it worked fine, but the keys, you know, I was pressing on stuff and it felt spongy and it didn't feel like it was taking. So the whole time me trying to enter in my password and email address for my Netflix account took me forever. But you can see it's a generic remote. There's no Netflix button. There's no Prime button. One of the claims to fame is Netflix is allowed. It's officially allowed on this. But the version of the program they put on there is like a mobile version. It feels clunky. When you're scrolling down, you're hitting the arrow key and it's going dunk, dunk. So it wasn't a great experience. The actual visuals were great. So my quick test, this video won't include it, but I'll make future videos of me watching video, playing video games on this, and maybe even connecting an Apple TV to it and doing a little streaming. I've got a Roku. I'll test all sorts of things. But what I would say, the cheap, it's okay. It's an okay remote. It kind of does the job. At least you've got the buttons on the top of this to click on if this fails. It did chew through batteries quickly, but again, maybe it's the voltage of the batteries, older rechargeables, I don't know. But basic buttons, basic functionality. It's an Android type of device. I'll have to look, but for some reason, Android 9 sticking out in my head when I watched all the videos. Don't hold me to that. Contact Vizony if you need to know the specifics. But it's not the current version of Android, but it's a somewhat current version. The visuals looked good. It was nice and bright. Definitely more so than any of my other 3 projectors. And I even was doing it I closed all the drapes, but there was a lot of still light in the room. And I was able to see it pretty good. So I would imagine at night, this is going to come in wonderful. It's 1080p. That's basically what I'm going to be serving to it. I don't have 4K stuff at this point. I don't have 4K Blu-ray or anything. But when I do, I'll be able to at least play through this. And maybe in 5 years from now, those Blu-ray models will be $150 plus tax on sale, and then I'll get one. See what I do? I kind of buy these fading out, discontinuing, blowout specials that get good reviews. I still checked out all the reviews. This one got knockout reviews. Vizony Q8. do your own homework. But all the visuals I saw about it tickled my fancy, and it's got an AV port, which none of the other ones I was looking at, other than another Vizony, had that. And I wanted to be able to try Laserdisc through this. So anyway, that's it. A lot more videos to come about this, and in fact, I'll do a video on all 4 of my projectors, and why in the hell am I keeping these older ones? What are they going to do? I have ideas for them, and we'll talk about that in a later video. So thanks for watching. Vizony Q8, kind of an unboxing, kind of a discussion. We'll make another video next. I know some of you are going, you just talked for 25 minutes and never showed us anything. Well, that's what this video is about. It was just strictly an explanation why I got one. The next video will be, I need to find the time to kick the dogs out of the house, have some peace and quiet, pull up the projector, and show you for some visuals. And even then, visuals through YouTube, you're not going to get the full audio effect. The visuals are only going to be as good as my camera is going to pick up, so it's really not optimal, but I can at least say, hey, that looks great, and you can take my word for it if you want. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Okay, I'm back. You thought I was done with the video, right? No, I lied. I said I was just going to make an unboxing 20 some odd minutes later and say at another day I'll do a video about it working. Well, it is another day, but I thought I'd just make one big ass video. And this is not going to be an in-depth everything video. I'll make another one after that that shows maybe some type of movie content and some streaming of the various apps that came pre-installed on my Vizony Q8. But for today, because I want to make a video and I want to play my own video game up on a big screen. Yeah, I'm a coder. Have you ever heard of a Sinclair ZX Spectrum? If you're in the United States, you're probably just scratching your head going, what the hell's that? I know Atari, I know Commodore. Yeah, there's a Sinclair ZX Spectrum, very popular over in the UK during the 8-bit era. And they made some computers. And now there's a modern recreation in proper lineage. The group got together, the original maker of the ZX Spectrum, the case and everything, designed a case for a new computer that went on Kickstarter years ago called the Spectrum Next. It allows you to play all the older games and newer games, and I created a video game called Invasion of the Cloud People for the ZX Spectrum Next computer, and I want to play it on a big screen. My big screen is behind me. I'll show you all the stuff here in a little bit, but I want to do at least a test. It is, what time is it? Not even 9 o'clock yet. The lights outside, I've closed some of the drapes. I've turned on a lot of lights, though. We will turn everything down, close the drapes, and we're going to connect up for the first time, hopefully it works, my Sinclair ZX Spectrum Next to the projector, and so you can at least see some video quality of what it's like in a room that's kind of dark, but not a basement. There's some ambient light around from like the kitchen and stuff like that, and at least you'll kind of see that. Then at a later time, I will make another video about the programs that are on here, like the Netflix, and kind of show you how I wasn't super impressed with the mobile version that you got to clank and click through. I think for some, you'll still want some type of easier device, whether it's a Roku or an Apple TV or something, to connect to this, because they're a lot more user-friendly, at least on the Netflix. The Netflix, yeah, I'm not impressed with that. It's, like I said, a mobile version. But yeah, let's play a game. So I will get everything connected up, and I've got a lot of stuff on this table right now. I've got the projector. I've got this, what the hell is this thing over here? This is an Ecoflow generator, battery solar type of generator. And every so often, I just need to drain a little power from it. And I don't have easily accessible cords. I've got to run cords over to stuff, and it's behind, like my laser disc collection here. And I didn't want to plug anything in, so I'm going to plug everything in here like I was going to have a picnic outside, projector night, and we're going to use one of these things. So I'm going to connect this to it. I'm going to connect my Specky next to it, and just run stuff as if I'm outside without power easily available. And so let's rig all this together and see, you'll kind of see what the video quality looks like. I will try to pipe it out to my, it's called a Magnify, Polk Audio Magnify, a mini Magnify. It is a TV sound box kind of thing that has a separate wireless bass box. That's what I've used to date for video. So it's not a 5.1 or 7.1 or whatever. It's one of those 2.1s. You've got the little sound box that's near the TV and then a bass box behind it. But it should make the audio, kind of fun. Anyway, hold tight. Let me get this all rigged up, power out the lights, and then turn everything on and see if it works. Hold on. Oh, I almost forgot, but I did remove the lighting, so it might be a little darker right now. I'm not sure, but I wanted to show you a couple things. So I mentioned yesterday that this has some speakers, and I just rattled off, I thought it was 15 watts. I don't think it is. I've found nothing in the documentation or websites or anything that says how many watts the speaker is. It just says hi-fi. Hi-fi. So the sound did sound fine. It's definitely not room-filling sound, but it does have speakers in it. The speaker grills are on the back. I think I pointed that out the other day. So some of the grills you can get some sound out of, but it doesn't say how many watts the speaker system is. Also, I did figure out on the bottom where the little trap door thing is, that does open in 2 degrees. So it's kind of a friction fit for this first one. You got to kind of pull it out, and there's a shorty. So now you can kind of see the short little part. And then you can pull out the full-size one here, push this one back in, and then pull out the full-size one if you need the projector to go up at a higher degree. So there's that. The bottom here does have 4, or actually 5. I think there's one under here too. These come off, and there's some screws that you can then buy a projector kind of ceiling unit that screws into this. So if you're going to hang it from someplace, there's a device you can buy. I guess you could technically, if you've got a plank, and you can rest this on top of it. But if you're going to be doing the upside down thing, then yeah, there's some screws that you can access down the bottom. Also on the side here, there is a filter. This pulls out. I'm not going to do it right now, but there's a finger area here, and it pulls out a filter. So it filters some of the air, which is a good thing. So those are some other things I kind of found along the way yesterday when I was pillaging this thing a little bit more. Okay, now that I've shown you that and clarified that I have no idea the wattage of this for speakers, but there are speakers inside, and there you go. All right, I lied again. I'm not going to play my Specky Next game. I did start it quickly. Specky Next is interesting with HDMI. It came in okay, but there was a little bit of a lag between the sound coming from this and the game. And I wanted to switch to the internal speakers to see if that was still there. And then I said, screw it. Let's just go to YouTube and see if I can find one of my videos to kind of play. This is the basic screen, home, if you will, for the Vizony Q8. This is what it comes up with. This is on about a 90-inch screen. I've kind of made things look representable. I would say the projector is about 8 feet away, roughly, from this screen. And let me just get out of the screen here, and you can kind of see and hear what the quality will be like to some degree. Where did I put the remote? Oh, here it is. So here's the screen, and you've got basically your home screen, apps, videos, music, and settings. And then it's got some weather thing up there as well. Let's just go to home and down to YouTube. We'll go to YouTube and start that.
Paramount Plus is the home of your favorite Sonic adventures.
Here we go!
And now,
so that was the beginning of an ad. Here's one of my videos.
Connected. I even connected the 8-bit Do dongle with the joypad. I didn't connect the mouse. I don't think I'm going to do any mouse work this time around.
I would say overall my older Bluetooth speakers and my lips are in sync fairly well.
So in the booklet, it does say let it go through all the video modes first before you decide.
The blacks are, this is, like I said, not a pitch. In fact, I did close all the lights behind or the drapes behind here. So you're getting a little light in from here, but we'll live with it. I should have closed those drapes as well and made it a little darker.
We're going to do. So I've got this guide. I did read it through, and we're going to go ahead and turn everything
So it looks pretty
I've
good.
got sound
Crispiness, you know, this is daylight. The room is, I would say, maybe half dark. I've got some of the drapes closed.
Maybe night if I can find it. Say so 3, 2. Oh jeez. 1. It beeped.
So how do you get out? I guess click home. I don't know the controllers yet on this remote. So there's your basic home screen. Let's see if there's anything else on YouTube. Well, there's search, so you can obviously search for stuff. There's a lot of apps. I haven't set these things up yet. Like I said, I just received this. Let's see if there's anything else on YouTube we can kind of look at. So how do you go backwards on this? Maybe this button? There you go. The big unboxing, Sinclair ZX Spectrum Next. That's I think I'll just play stuff that I'm in, so there's no what do you call it? Conflict of interest.
CJ here. It's so played out with all of the box openings, you know, things, people doing funny, silly things because their specky next arrived.
So, Bluetooth-wise, my speaker system, I think, is coming in pretty good.
It's been played out.
Not any big delays.
So we're going to put this up here.
Video quality looks pretty good.
I have so many ideas, but I'm in the United States, and it took a while for said package to arrive.
Let's go back to home. Maybe we could just
sharpened up. I was going to get it.
Find something else that maybe on YouTube that I'm not quite sure what to play. Actually, let me go to Netflix because I did set that up. See, now you got the little, so it's a mouse cursor thing, and you don't have a mouse. So you got to move around with arrows. So right now I'm putting up the up arrow, and you can kind of see the little hand moving over there, and I got to select me. And I'm pushing OK. Like I said, the buttons feel a little spongy. And I still got that finger thing up there. Mother of the Bride. See, now I'm having to move the hand down. And I'm holding the arrow down, and then you kind of got clumps. Clunk, clunk. And you can kind of play some videos that you're wanting to play. But everything, it definitely, even during the day, with its semi-dark room, it's coming in pretty clear. I think what I'll do is I'll stop here. You kind of see that the video looks pretty decent, probably from where you're seeing. I don't want to play any copyright stuff that have any hiccups or issues. We'll make another video after I get everything set up like Prime, and then maybe I'll know the remote well enough to where can I do Shrek? Maybe there'll be a song at the beginning. Play. Somehow I chose Starship Troopers. At least I think I did. No, see, you got to move see how dorky this is? You got to kind of move this over and then hit play. So I don't like the Netflix app on here right off the shoot. I'm going to have to connect up a Roku or something else. We'll just let a little of this start. Okay, it's probably enough seconds worth. Force, exit mouse mode. See, it's very weird to move around the mouse in that section. Anyway, well, let me go over here and wrap this up. So, yeah, you saw that it's working. We'll do a more in-depth when I get all the apps set up and I can go into them and I can quickly play the 10 or 20 or 15 seconds so there's no copyright issues. But she works. I will connect it up to my computers at some point and play some video games, and we'll do some other things. Man, that light's bright. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.